Meth capital, when the government found the pipe, America had seen some bad leadership before. But when Congress traded in their coffee for meth, shit got real. The first 24 hours, the speed of chaos. It started when a senator from Florida walked into a closed-door meeting, grinding his teeth so hard you could hear it across the room. He slammed his hands on the table and shouted, "Why the hell are we wasting time? Let's fix America right now!" Within minutes, the entire Capitol was a war zone of activity. Laws were being written so fast the printers caught fire. The House of Representatives had full-on brawls over who could talk faster. One guy gave a 17-hour speech without blinking once. The Speaker of the House was seen sprinting down the halls with 3 laptops, shouting, "I haven't slept in 40 hours, but I've solved the economy." Then he forgot what the solution was and rewrote the tax code 6 times in one night. The new rules and then the newer rules. The problem with meth-fueled politicians is that they can't stop changing their minds. One lawmaker declared, "We're getting rid of all taxes." People cheered. Then 10 minutes later, another senator screamed, "Actually, new plan, 100% tax rate. All money goes to the government." People booed. Then 5 minutes later, a third politician burst into the chamber, sweating bullets, and shouted, "Fuck it, we're back to the gold standard." Now no one knew what money was anymore. Law enforcement goes off the rails. Cops didn't know what to do. The chief of police in New York held a press conference and just said, "Look, man, I don't even know what's legal anymore." Cops were pulling people over for speeding, then realizing speed limits had been abolished, then realizing cars were illegal, then realizing walking was also illegal, then realizing the police force itself had been outlawed, only to find out it had been reinstated 10 minutes later as the National Speed Enforcement Squad. At one point, Congress made every crime punishable by death. Then, an hour later, declared America a lawless anarchy. Then 10 minutes later, made it illegal not to have a job. Then, 5 minutes after that, made it illegal to work. People were getting arrested just for existing. The military becomes a mess. The Pentagon was losing it. One 4-star general stayed awake for 3 straight days and started issuing orders like, "Every American gets a flamethrower. All battleships should have NOS tanks. Air Force One now has a nitrous booster. Let's see if it can hit Mach 5. The Secretary of Defense replaced all military uniforms with tank tops and cargo shorts because faster movement. By day 4, soldiers weren't even sure what country they were supposed to be fighting. At one point, the US declared war on Canada, but then cancelled it 3 minutes later because it was too much work. The people trying to keep up regular Americans were confused as hell. Grocery stores were selling nothing but energy drinks and beef jerky because that's all Congress eats now. Gas prices went from $7 a gallon to -$3 a gallon, meaning you got paid to fill up. Then gas was outlawed, then bikes were made mandatory, then bikes were outlawed. Then everyone was forced to ride ostriches, then ostriches were banned. At one point, the government announced that all food must be eaten in liquid form because chewing wastes time. McDonald's drive-thrus were serving Big Macs blended into protein shakes. People just stopped asking questions. The collapse, the Great Crash, and Burn It took a full week before every politician finally crashed. Some fell asleep mid-sentence on live TV. One senator was found in a closet staring at a wall, whispering, "I know the secrets. I know them all." The president was caught outside the White House, trying to fight a tree because he thought it was an enemy spy. Eventually, every single one of them passed out from exhaustion. For 3 days, the government was completely silent. No laws, no speeches, no chaos. And for the first time in months, everything was normal again. But then, one senator woke up and muttered, "What if we tried bath salts?" And just like that, it started all over again.